Good morning. It's Richard Kim, life coach. Today I'm going to tell you 10 simple habits to do each day. My friend Jack told me about Tyson Fury, who made a good motivational video, and on it he said it's so important to have a daily routine to keep you on track. So I use the Loop Habit Tracker, which is a free app on my phone. I'll quickly show you what it looks like. Looks like that. Whoa. There we go. And basically, you just tick off as you do things. So I'll just read down what mine is. My first is to give my wife a kiss and tell her I love her. I did get out of the habit of doing that each day, but it's important to acknowledge those you love. My second is a simple again. Thank you for the day. So I open my window, take in a breath of fresh air, and just, if you're spiritual, you might thank God for creation. If not, you can just look outside and say, thank you for a beautiful day, even if it's raining. The third, I look up a thought for the day or a word for today. So it could be, again, it could be a spiritual thing. I get the what it's called the word for today, where somebody has just written a passage just for you to think about, and it's amazing how many coincidences there usually are, because you might be thinking about a certain thing and then it just crops up in that. So that's just a simple bit of reading. My fourth, if I can get back to it, is do a favour. Now this can be as simple as making a cup of coffee for your loved one, or maybe ringing up a relative that you haven't spoken to for a while. Could be anything, but a simple favour. When you're not in isolation, it might be helping an old lady cross the road, that sort of thing. Number 5, 15-minute activity. I usually go out, probably do about half an hour actually, but it's best with goals to keep them smart and simple, and so 15 minutes minimum. So it might be a walk or a cycle or do a bit of exercise at home. That's what we're on to now. Number 6, a 15-minute chore. Now, chores are something that I was a bit allergic to, as my wife will tell you. But actually doing it and having it as a thing to tick off your list, it actually makes it quite enjoyable. And sometimes if I'm doing like 10 minutes, I'll look for another 5 minutes of doing something. So it can be anything from washing up, tidying up the kitchen, hoovering, ironing, doing your laundry, as long as it's at least 15 minutes consecutive. Right, next. I've lost my list again. I think I know what it is. I think it's the 15-minute decluttering. Now this, again, is really good because you can just do one drawer, spend at least 15 minutes. So see how big the drawer is. Make sure you do it within that 15 minutes. So don't sort of get stuck on one thing, reading it or whatever. Just put it in piles of things to keep. If it's souvenirs or something, you have a box for your souvenirs. You might find all odds and sods, but you can put those in a smaller shoebox or something to sort at a later date. But basically, your aim is within those 15 minutes to sort that drawer or the cupboard or whatever. And again, it's quite therapeutic. The other day, I went through all my old photos because my mum's recently died. So I wanted to get all my mum and dad photos in like a little album. So I went through, I had about 6 different piles. I had my very good photos, my good photos, my average photos. Those are the ones that you're not quite sure whether to throw away. So I've kept them, most of them, but in like an average box. And then I've got significant others. That's all friends, over the years. I've got interesting ones, which is more the landscape or your garden, how it's changed over time and that sort of thing. And then I had one for Gran and Grandpa. So I was basically looking for a special album for all those. So that was really good. So that was decluttering in 15 minutes. I spent probably the next 2 nights doing that. So that was easy one to tick off. I should say as well, if you do, instead of a 15-minute chore, you do a 30-minute chore, a long one, like, mowing your lawn or whatever. That can count as your decluttering as well, because I see chore as a harder thing to do than decluttering. So you can kill 2 birds, and actually you can kill 3 birds in one stone, because if it's a big lawn like mine, it counts as an activity as well, your 15-minute activity. So that's a tip for you. Right, we're nearly finished. And just look back at my list. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh no, 7. 8, I've got contact a family or friend. I did mention about that, doing a favour. I don't know whether that counts as both. But I usually like to keep in contact with my good friends, Mark, Graham, Steve, John, anyone else who I haven't spoken to for a while. So that's good to do. I've also got play the piano. I've started doing that again. I took my grade 5, but it's just unfortunately failed that by a few marks, and I stopped playing after that. Anyway, so I'm picking that up again. So 15-minute on a musical instrument or singing. No betting. That's one thing that I used to sort of have, spend quite a bit of time, just because I was interested in probability and statistics, not really the money side of it, but I spent too much time doing that. So if I can go through a day without betting, I give myself a tick, which wasn't a big thing a while back, but now I just don't even think about it, especially with this isolation and no football. There's nothing to bet on anyway. And come back to my list. Sorry for the delay. Hang on. Oh, and have an early night. So I think I've got more than 10 actually. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I've actually got 12 and a few extras. So have an early night. Make sure I go to bed before 12 o'clock and I get a tick. Unfortunately, sometimes, if you're watching a good film or something, you miss that one. And then if I do all those 12, if I manage to do them in one day, I've got a special bonus thing, so I can tick my bonus. And then it gives you all sorts of statistics. It said, like, for instance, I can look at my 15 minutes read per day. Did I mention read? I don't know if I did. Anyway, that was on my list as well. So I can see 70%. So 70% of the days I managed to do a 15-minute read of a book. And I've also got a couple of other things which I put on. DIY, I'm not so keen on that, but again, I put it down, but that's just once a week. So if I spend more than 15 minutes once a week, that's fine for me. And also I've got a healthcare, which is another one. Because you have 1 or 2 sort of problems, and sometimes you forget to put cream on, or things like that, or I've got a problem with a sty that I've had for a while, so bathe it in water, that sort of thing. Sometimes I get out of the habit of doing it. Things like that are additional ones that I can keep a track of. So that's your tip for the day from Richard Kim, Life Coach. You can search me on the internet. My website is www.richardkim, all one word, .co.uk, or you can email me at richkimlife, all one word, @gmail.com. See you for another tip another day. Bye.